Hello, Praveen. Welcome to Christ University. It's an honor to have you here. Your journey in technology, mentoring, and sports is truly remarkable. To start, could you share a quick introduction about yourself?
Yep. First of all, thanks for having me here. To give you a quick overview about me, I am actually a alumni of Christ. I did my BCom in 2022 pass out batch, and I'm actually visually impaired, uh, and I'm currently working in Goldman Sachs as a software developer. um, and yeah, like the reason why we are here today is to cover lit couple of spotlights out of my career stories. So I hope you will find something interesting to take away. um, yeah, look forward to it. If you feel bored, scold Rishi sir, not me.
Sure. Could you walk us through your experience transitioning from a traditional schooling system to a special school?
Yeah, I mean, okay. So let's take a step back, right? Before even going there, just to uh, provide little description about what happened and why the need for that transition came up, right? So I actually became, visually challenged when I was, 8 years old due to chicken pox. You might be wondering now, like, is it because of chickenpox? I mean, it's a severe variant, I would say. And yeah, like because of that, the elders at family also they had, according to their own belief, they started doing some puja and then let me, get admitted to hospital for medical treatment. And yeah, like I mean, it's a long story, but because of which I lost my vision. Now, yeah, let's come back to your question, right? So post I became visually challenged. The school management in which I was studying prior to this incident agreed to continue my studies in the same school. So a couple of years it was like going very great, but yeah, like slowly I started feeling difficulties in terms of um, reading, writing in the classroom, then taking examinations on my own. And yeah, that's when the call for school switch to a special school came up actually. I mean, it was as usual little tougher for me as well, because entering into special school, it was a whole different ecosystem altogether. Um, but more than like my studies at that point of time, I was worried and opposing to switch because I wouldn't wanted to leave my school's friend circle.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it started. Uh, I switched, and then gradually I got used to the ecosystem, and started learning Braille, computer, and lots of extracurricular and sports activities. Just to provide a bit extra information here, just for the audience understanding, right? So the Braille here, what is it means? It's an alternative system of book and pen, I would say. So using Braille, visually challenged students can read, write, just like any other students who would otherwise put pen on paper. So, and how would I operate computer? Uh, there's a software called Screen Reader. It's actually an awesome software that actually describes whatever that comes on screen via audio output. So you listening to that, I operate the system.
Okay.
So yeah, that's how the transition actually happened.
So you were telling about your family. How did your family support you through this, and what were the challenges you basically faced at home?
Um, I mean, okay, so it's bit of a uh, deeper discussion. So let me provide a little background on my family before touch basing on what support I got from my family. So my family is actually, my father was an auto driver, and mom was housekeeping staff in some news channel. And yeah, overall, like, we are a low income background family. And yeah, so, and on top of that, like, I lost my father in 2010, I think. Yeah, 2010, due to cancer. And from then onwards, it's completely my mom, who was a single parent, took care of things. But yeah, like, I mean, if you see here, at a very early stage itself, I got a freedom, kind of, because nobody was there at family to advise and validate things for me. So, when it comes, but at the same time, having said that, a huge responsibility also fell on me and my younger brother, in terms of, designing our own career very carefully. Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, like, coming to your question now, what support I received, I mean, it's more of uh, uh, a space where you can observe things around, and then take a self decision to drive things ahead very cautiously. So that's the kind of support. I mean, it's not a great sign, but yeah, it was sort of helpless
Hmm.
kind
Yeah.
of moment, I would say. But yeah, like, that's how things happened.
You also mentioned about Braille. You are a Braille mentor and ambassador. Have these roles influenced your views on leadership, education, and inclusivity?
Yeah, I have a story to tell you here. So
Yeah.
this ambassador role, right, in school, um, actually, I took this out of both mixed feeling of curiosity plus fear. I mean, why fear? Is because my major circle of interaction was mainly people within that special school,
Hmm.
right? So
Yeah.
I hardly used to interact with people outside that school, and so, which is what made me scared. But, like, looking back now, I think that's one of the best decision I made, not to slip that opportunity, because I got to manage huge group of people, visitors who come to our school, the special school,
Hmm.
and I used to take them for a tour, school tour and all. So lots of question they used to ask. I used to address their questions. Whole thing I used to manage as a sort of a single man army, I would say. So actually, that's what gave me lots of confidence, and initiative to take and drive things by putting myself on the driver's seat,
Hmm.
I would say. So, and coming to your second point, right? I mean, I think, like, in the education, in the context of special students, I don't think there is any hard roadblocker, I would say. I mean, it may take some time to find an alternative ways of doing things and get adjust with that, but we can't say, it's things are impossible. I mean, okay. What did you ask? Okay, third point is inclusiveness, right?
Yeah.
Um, okay, I think this word inclusive, to be very honest, in recent days, it's becoming a very big word.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't know at what extent I can answer to that. But here's my personal view on that. Um, it's actually, like, when it comes to inclusiveness, right? It should be based on two parties joining together and driving things hand in hand. What do I mean by that? Like, for example, let's say, uh, take let's take example of Rishi sir, right? I mean, sir, this is just an example, not to spot you. Let's say the Rishi sir has 30 students in his hand, and out of 30, 3 people are like special students. It need not be necessarily a person with visual impairment, but like, yeah, any kind of disability, right? So here, if you think Rishi sir, he can't think. I have 30 students in my hand. Only three is still a minor population, but when it comes to making things inclusive, the ROI is less. So hence, let things be as is. On the other end, let's see. Let's say even I am also part of those three students. I can't, sit back and let like watch a game, thinking, it's like Rishi sir is doing something to bring it inclusive. Uh, Let me sit back and watch out how the show goes, because it's his duty to make things happen.
Yeah.
Not my responsibility. That's also a very um, not very good sign, because I, as a special student, even I hold a uh, equal share of responsibility to go up and give the suggestions, because I know what are the pain points better than anybody else, right? So that's why I said the inclusiveness needs sort of
A two-way thing.
a partnership line.
Yeah.
So without that striking a partnership line, I don't think the word inclusive will make sense. It will just remain as a word on paper.
Yeah. So, do you think that any academic challenges that a person with visual disability particularly faces? Or what were your things and how did you navigate through those?
Yeah, I mean, let me answer to the second question, because I don't know about other special students. In during my studies time, the kind of challenges that I faced is mainly in terms of um, okay, let me put this in this way. So in my school days, two major fields that interested me actually. One was science and the other one was computer science. So when I wanted to apply for uh, science post my 10th, I got lots of questions being raised, from college standpoint, asking me how will I do the labs and all. So I mean, I had I could have, what I got to know is, abroad I may get opportunity to pursue science, but yeah, clearly my family financial situation was not great, so I dropped that option. And the second option was computer science, which was otherwise I was interested, and I applied for computer science in one college. And there also I got the same questions like, how do you do the labs? And I explained them, I have a software called screen reader, blah blah blah. I could do things, but yeah, like they didn't give me the admission. Yeah, so, and at the end finally I came and took commerce. And that's how slowly things started working in commerce. But immediately after I joined and took the commerce, another problem came up, like how am I going to pay the fee? uh, I mean, obviously I could have asked my mom. She would have made taken some debt and
Yeah.
arranged it, but that's something personally I wouldn't like to put the ball in her court. So I started reaching out to lots of people, started applying several scholarships, be it like taking bits and pieces of money from government scholarship, private NGO scholarship, and then whatever the little money that I could get from sponsors. So all put together, consolidated money I used to pay my annual college fee. So that's how I studied actually till my BCom. And the other challenge, I think, yeah, when I joined commerce, still that was largely a practical subject driven, right?
Yeah.
So there was a lot of questions like, how do you do the accounts and stats? So for that, I started using Braille, and I started using Microsoft Excel, doing the accounts and stats live in class. classroom time. So those are the couple of challenges that I faced during my studies.
Okay. So talking about Christ, how did Christ help you shape your academic and personal growth?
I mean, I have lots of things to share, but considering the time, uh, let me tell you one experience which is very close to me and have helped a lot in terms of personal growth as well. Um, so I think it was first year, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, it was first year. Uh, During first year of my BCom, huge the performance dropped in a very big way, especially the papers of accounts and statistics. And the reason for that is I find it very difficult to attend my exams with the help of scribe. Okay, let me tell what is scribe again. Um, so scribe here is someone which college approves and assign you at the time of examination to write on your behalf. So I dictate my answers, and the scribe will hear the answers and write on my behalf. It's sort of a special accommodation request for special students. So yeah, like continuing our discussion, right? I don't know, for some reason the scribe approach never worked for me, even though I tried multiple iterations to get used to it. But yeah, like my performance significantly impacted, and that's when I thought of went up to college management and proposed the idea, saying, hey, look, we have 10 plus uh, computers in computer lab, and could you please just install the screen reader software in one of the computers, not all, and give me that one system to write the exams on my own, and then you can take the printout of that answer script and move in the same queue of evaluation process, right? And yeah, there was a lot of questions from management side as well, like asking me, um, how confident are you to finish the exam within 3 hours of time, because the normal students itself face a lot of tough to finish the exams in 3 hours,
Yeah.
but you are saying you will do it on computer in same 3 hours time. I said, like, look, I know what is the um, what's your worry. uh, just give me a permission, rest all I'll take care of myself, it's on my head. I know, like, it's super risky to uh, have this in place, because a slightest fallback in this case would straight away put my academic result at stake, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't blame the university as well, because I have went and asked for this support. I can't blame I failed because college did blah blah blah. So I told upfront, sir, please provide me this support and permission. Rest all I'll take care. I'll take the total risk on my head. And that's how I mean, a lot of back and forth discussion happened, but finally college agreed and it gave me all those support. But from there onwards, my academic performance kept going up. I was so glad because doing writing exams on my own without depending on anybody. I mean, to give a just at what extent it helped me. I think you are also in the third year, right? You know
Yeah.
how important it is when it comes to the college placement.
Yes.
So when placement came for me, I said I don't want a scribe. I'll take the aptitude tests on my own using computer itself. I mean, lots of and they were all like maybe a very few people that they saw saying like this. I mean, that level of confidence is because I took that risk that day of giving my exams on my own. So I mean, I think it's let me clarify something, right? When I say the scribe, I don't want to take scribe and all. I'm not claiming that the other special students who use Scribe is wrong, or I am operating computer on my own, so I'm better than them. I'm not claiming that. So for me, I don't know. For me, I personally like doing things on my own. So that's the kind of you know support that college also gave me. I actually must thank college management, because it's not easy to make that kind of decision, especially when it
Mm.
comes to
Yeah.
the bigger university like ours. So that's how the my college days was in
That is
Christ.
so nice to hear. Uh, we also got to know that you are a very much sports person. I have a couple of lines to touch base on. Congratulations on winning bronze medal in National Para Swimming Championship in Goa. What was going in your mind during that competition?
Um, I mean, to be very honest, I was the national level is something that I was dreaming to get in. But at the same time, I was not expecting to, make medal and all in the national, because I knew I just went there with 6 months of practice. Uh, I just wanted to give one best shot from my end, just like anybody else, any other typical sportsman, right? I mean, in the context of sports, you can never, have that boss kind of a feel in your head, because the moment you get that feel, you will start falling back, because there will be someone else better than me. So at the time of swimming competition as well, this is the thought process that actually was there in my mind, to give one best shot, whatever that's possible from my end. So the result was something was not in my control, but it just happened.
And also, we got to know that you play blind golf, and which sounds a very fascinating sport. Can you tell us about the experience of playing it and what has it taught you about?
Mm, uh, this golf thing, it's actually sponsored by some NGO, just to support person with disability also, like sort of a recreation activity. And to be honest, I there's very rarely uh, visually challenged people in India play golf.
Mm, yeah.
So as part of that initiative, the NGO is supporting this um, program. So I mean, like recently started to play this. It was more of a, what do you say? It's like a hobby kind of game that I'm playing right now. But yeah, if you ask me, is there a clear cut uh, roadmap in the long run? I think it's like very very early to review and tell you the takeaways. But
Mm,
yeah, like right now, I'm playing as a purely like a hobby and recreational game.
okay. So, from swimming to athletics to blind golf, and you also play chess, you are into so many sports. How do you approach learning and excelling in different activities?
So, yeah, actually, this concept of, or the interest that came up is from the days of my special school, as I told, right?
Okay.
So I always I always love playing sports. No, it could be any sports, right? So whenever that's how I actually started to play so many sports. Like, if you ask me, is there any expectation? I would say no. It was all purely that curiosity based, um,
Mm,
giving a try. So that's how I started one, and started another, and playing another. Like that, the journey is still going on.
mm,
But yeah, if I need to give you an overview about what makes me play all these games, it actually gives me that sort of a excitement to always try something new. So that's the kind of one unique flavor that I actually get out of a sports. So that's why I play.
Okay. Before we continue with further questions, I like to play a quick game with you, rapid fire. Try to give like quick answers for these. Uh, the first thing that you do when you win a medal.
Um, I go and meet my coach.
Okay. If you could only choose one, sports, technology, or mentoring, which would it be and why?
And why?
Yeah.
Mm, I think it's sports because I love sports, and one thing, if I can take care of sports, which gives me a lot of uh, excitement and learning, then the learning technology is easy, and mentoring is again sharing the learning that I have.
Yeah. Okay. So what will you prefer, gold medal or promotion at work?
Promotion at
Work.
second option, but don't ask me why.
Okay, we'll move on. Three words that describe you the best.
Mm, I think it's perseverance,
Hmm,
positiveness, and um, goal oriented.
that's nice. Favorite memory from Christ days.
Oh yeah, I love red bench sitting there and uh, talking with friends.
Okay. Your go-to stress buster.
Mm, I find sometime uh, you know sitting alone. And so that's my stress buster. I know it sounds weird, but that's what works for me.
Spending time with yourself.
Yeah, I mean being sometime alone, not thinking, but in silence.
Okay. One thing that most people misunderstand about you.
Mm, yeah, so people my I have seen this lots of time. Um, Whenever someone reaching out to someone else to get some things done, even though like I'm next to them, they just assume that I can't because of um, the disability, and then they run around, and then finally when they come back to me, I start picking up things. That's when they'll come and say, it's like having diamond next to me, but still I was searching for the entire world. So that's the kind of live feedback I've received so many times.
Uh, who are some of the people that have inspired you the most in your life?
It's actually faculty, the teachers from my school days till Christ, and I have a lot of mentors. So
Yeah.
that's they are the one who inspires me.
What's one fun or surprising fact that people don't know about you?
Surprising fact. Um, I mean, just to give me a moment, okay?
Yeah.
Um, I think I'm very confused in terms because I keep I do a lot of paperwork to keep track of how much money that I'm spending. So
Maybe you
yeah,
can say that's financial discipline.
mm, yeah, that's more of a professional way of saying, but I'm getting into more local.
Sure. Uh, looking back at your journey so far, how do you feel about your progress that you've made? Are there any future goals you're still aiming for that I would like to achieve these?
Can you come back again? I didn't get that.
Like how do you feel about the progress that you've made so far?
Okay. I think I mean, look, there is nothing that I could sort of sympathize things and tell you because honestly, I'm not that kind of person also. But yeah, like I actually consider myself uh, the luckiest one. Uh, I'll tell you why. the because the kind of challenges that I have come across, both in terms of studies and in personal life. Um, the Today I'm in a position to sort of survive and come out of any toughest situation,
Yeah.
and that level of mental muscle is simply the outcome of those ups and downs that I have faced in past. So I mean, it could be. I still have a long way to go. I must acknowledge that. Like it's just a beginning, but I am really feel lucky slash glad for whatever that have happened with me in the past at a very early stage itself. So which make me drive things with better mental strength, and also like sort of fuel to drive longer.
Hmm. So
And
I
that's, yeah, like that's one thing, right? And the second thing that I wanted to um, say is that the people, I don't know, like whether it's too creamy to highlight this, but honestly speaking, I today have like lots of there are people, in friend circle to whom I just go to
hmm,
without even thinking that they judge me, and there are people whom I look up to, and motivate myself to become a better version. And yeah, there are like people who just slaps me and makes me stay grounded, not feeling like carried away when I achieve something, right?
hmm,
And yeah, of course, there are people who genuinely invested their time mentoring me, hand holding me, guiding whenever it is required, be it in terms of personal or in office. I mean, also, like, obviously, I get a lot of scoldings from them sometimes, but yeah, I know for sure, like, they love me so much, and I have lots of respect on them, just putting my ego down and listening to them. In that list there are teachers also. One among them is like Arishi sir. So yeah, and the third thing, maybe you may have this on top of your mind, like what would be my future goal,
yeah,
right? um, Actually, I don't know. I have this dream since childhood to become an entrepreneur. I don't know how, but like that's my dream since childhood, to become an entrepreneur. Um, Whatever that I have learned, um, the idea is to put consolidate all my learnings, experience, knowledge, and mind together, put together to kind of create something on my own. But yeah, that's long way to go still.
that'll happen soon. Uh, what advice would you like to give students who aspire to excel in their chosen fields and are currently pursuing their time in Christ University?
Mm, that's very difficult. Okay. I think let's rename that word advice as guidance, because I am not that big person to give advice. Uh, I think so. In a student's journey, student phase of in student phase, one thing that I have observed, even during my studies time, right? We students starts having sort of that expectation much before doing something. So that setting up that sort of expectation, pre-expectation beforehand, um, is not like very positive sign, because I have seen the moment we set the expectation before doing something, uh, we actually start putting template in our mind, having only a selective components of learning, and as soon as we are covered that, we will like chalo, we are done. So I mean, the idea behind why I'm bringing up this is, if we do that, setting expectations,
Hmm.
we may not realize or able to expand our potential to the fullest capacity. So that's one thing. And the other thing is, I think, yeah, like we have lots of resources and the kind of space, kind of sandbox to try things out in college time, right? So nobody
Yes.
will question you what you are doing. That's a, as I said, it's a sandbox. You can try whatever you want, whatever you can learn, things that you wanted, that interests you. uh, I would say, like, maximize the time and the opportunity that you have. And apart from that, I think i'm not I'm not going to touch base on the motivation, the hard work, time management, all those things, because it's different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know what it takes to implement at the ground reality level. So that's why, like, I coming here and setting up some sort of a benchmark uh, would doesn't make sense to me. um, so yeah, those are the two advice.
Thank you so much, Praveen, for sharing so much advice with like suggestions for the students. We're so happy to have you here and we wish all the best for your future endeavors. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.